Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Confessions. How my kings and queens doing today? I hope you all are doing well. My topic today is how I protect my peace, and I'm just gonna be realistic on things that's really been helping me lately on how to protect my peace. So one thing I noticed the last couple of days, like since I kind of been off, it's kind of been giving me a peace of mind as well, and just kind of disconnecting from, the world and just having that time to myself as well as spending. But one thing that helps me protect my peace is spending time with God. When I start my mornings off, I feel like it helps sets the tone for me and well as my day. It can be a day, it really every day. Normally when if I'm just reading an encouraging scripture, or if I'm just listening to like some type of podcast that maybe they were talking about, talking about God or how the greatness of God been doing in their life. Me spending that much needed time and just listening and meditating on His Word. You all know I'm very big on starting my mornings off reading my Bible. I make that it's really an everyday thing for me. I know we live in a society where most people, feel like some people that's, trying to get their spiritual or trying to get more connected with God, like if it's an aesthetic. But really with me it's not ecstatic. It's pretty much my daily routine every day. Now I do need to get more back into night, like I do need to start reading my Bible at nights. I will say that. But most time I have the Bible app. I do have the app downloaded on my cell phone. I can, if I don't read the Bible and pick it up physically, because I know I might have, read it that morning, I just read a scripture that's, being directed to me from the Bible app. And one thing I like about that Bible app is a Bible app for women that I had downloaded from the Play Store. It's really been giving me a lot of great information. One thing that just happened to me this past week, I was headed, like I was getting ready, well, I was already ready. I was just waiting on my ride to go to work. And I came across Corinthians twice. The the Corinthians, like the app directed me, because with the app it'll give you a verse, and then it'll give you a meditation, and then it'll have like a little prayer that you probably recite, a personal prayer to God. And when I kept seeing Corinthians, this was back to back, 2 days in a row. I think the first time it directed me to First Corinthians. I can't really think of the verses. And then the second time it directed me to Second Corinthians. So I'm currently now, so someone was like, just read Corinthians. Just read Corinthians. See what Corinthians is really talking about. And so lately I just been kind of reflecting and reading Second Corinthians. I do need to go back and read First Corinthians. But Second Corinthians, basically, I probably can share some notes down that I took on Second Corinthians. And Second Corinthians, let's see what I took down. Yeah, because most time when I'm reading the Bible, I think I was mentioning to you all in the past, I always like to take notes down to get a better understanding, because one thing I'm learning about the Bible, it is a very big book to read, and it does have a lot of knowledge. So if you're a beginner, I consider myself a beginner when it comes down to studying and reading God's Word. I have to have like either my tablet, and I'm kind of researching what the specific topic talking about. So in Corinthians, I think I was sharing this. I don't know. I think I probably mentioned this to you all, but it's basically finding strength when you feel weak, and like true leadership. And it talk about like how he was going through hard times. Apostle Paul, he was going through hard times in his life, but he turned away from, like, it's like false teachings, but it made peace with himself. He made peace within himself. Like he had to kind of disconnect himself from people that say that they was trying to give him information, but they really wasn't teaching him the word of what God really wanted him to understand about. And also, what other notes? It say, God strengthen our weakness, finding comfort during suffering, and living with sincerity and faithfulness even when life is difficult. So I felt like this was much needed for me, because lately I've been kind of discouraged, you know, with everything that's just going on, that's happening in the world, it will kind of affect a person mentally. And I think I'm a person when it comes down to that, because I have a caring heart. I do care about other people, and me seeing people struggling or suffering, or you know, I know it's a difficult time for a lot of people, but to see things not being done right away to help people, it will have a effect on, you know, and it really have been having an effect on me mentally, because even here in this city, I think I was telling you all about, you know, in one of my videos, that I never seen the homeless right here this, you know, this have increased. I never seen it this bad, you know. And it just really sad, because, you know, people that can do something about it, it's like they're not really, you know, doing nothing about it. And so what I kind of been doing, even when it come down to protecting my peace, I know I usually like to go to the park and, you know, connect back with nature. But lately, I just been finding so much peace in the comfort of my home. I'm gonna just be honest. Most people say, oh, you know, being a homebody, you know, I feel like it could be a great thing. You know, it's a form of self-care for me. You know, I used to have people tell me, oh, all you do is work, go home, work. It's a repeating cycle. I'm gonna just be honest. I feel like I'm not really missing nothing, you know, out in the world right now. Like I said, just too much going on for, you know, for me. So me, like I say, y'all know I always tell you all, when I protect my peace, I do enjoy being outdoor. I do love nature. But lately, it's just been extremely hot. This is the hottest summer out here I've ever seen. You know, as long as I've been staying in Memphis, it's just really been too hot to really go to the park. But that's another form that I really like to protect my peace, is connecting back with nature. And even at home, this is one of my favorite spots in my living room, is, you know, because like I said, it's just something about natural sunlight that gives me peace. And of course, my plants, y'all probably heard me talk about this a lot. I just feel like, and you know, we all need peace, and we all need a peace of mind. And I just feel like if anybody or anything try to interrupt your peace, I just feel like it's best to kind of disconnect yourself from those people, or just walk away. That's just me personally. You know, sometimes even like I have to tell those that might be close to me, you know, I don't want to hear negative. Like sometimes people will come to you about drama. Every time you turn around, always something about this person said this, that person said that. I have gotten to the place in my life where I don't want to hear drama and negativity. I've never been a person that, you know, engage in things like that about this person saying this. So I just, lately, I learned how to say no, and just, you know, either if I feel like they interrupt my peace, I might not even answer the phone if I know this person gonna come with me with negativity all the time, or I just stay away, you know. Because I say life is, you know, you have to live day by day. And the way how I'm seeing things now happening with life, you only get 24 hours in one day. And like I say, it's best to make the best out of that 24 hours that God had woke you up. So I just feel like there's no room for negativity, drama. I just feel like as people should learn to come together and just, you know, love on one another. Like I said, we already, you know, we living in some difficult times right now. And so, you know, there's nothing wrong with just spreading love and just encouraging others to just continue to, you know, stay strong during their season. And, you know, I notice nowadays it's so much negativity, you know, when it come down to people. Like, you know, where's the positivity? Like, let's spread more love, you know. All the division and, you know, speaking negativity on someone, I just feel like you would not go long in life, you know, with that kind of mindset. And I had to learn, even with myself, because God really been revealing some things with me, with myself. I have learned, like, over the last couple of years, is just try to, even if you're going through a difficult storm in your life, know that this is not your forever. And one thing I like about Trent Shelton, he's a motivational speaker, one of my favorites. He was once a former football player, but now he's like one of the top biggest motivational speakers out there. And, you know, when he got cut from his team, when he got cut from, you know, the NFL, that was something that he really enjoyed doing. But one thing about listening to his story, and also me reading his book, I have bought one of his books, I Do Need to Plan. That's another thing I find reading, you know, therapeutic, as well as, you know, gaining peace. But anyway, he never gave up. Like, he never gave up. He say God gave him the vision that, hey, this, the NFL might not be for you, but him just speaking a message, his message, him giving encouragement to other people and just speaking on, his story. That was really, from my understanding, how he was saying, that he was saying that was really his calling. He didn't really expect to be a top motivational speaker or just going around, ministering and, speaking on his life to maybe help encourage someone else. He never thought about doing that. He said because his dream was always to be a professional football player, but God had other plans. And I feel like when God had plans over your life, can't no one take that from you, but you also have to learn to not allow the noise to, get in the way of what he has called you to do. Because one thing I learned that my great grandma always taught me is that when you allow someone to steal your joy, you is like a person around here that's, you basically is like I ain't gonna say you basically just like a person with no, I'm trying to figure out how I can say. If you allow someone to steal your joy, you just basically like a person around here that just don't know, I'm gonna just say don't know which direction to go to. I'm gonna say it like that. I can't really find the correct word to say. But she always told me never let no one steal, they might probably break your heart, but never let no one steal your joy. Because that's something we all need. And if you let someone steal your joy, you would not be right. We all need some type of joy. Like I tell people, even those that's closest to me, like everything might not be going well in my life, but I do find joy in the littlest things, and I gain peace in the smallest things that most people would look at as, hey, how do she do it? When I say God, when he first opened this door for me, and I talk about this, it's like a living testimony of me getting this place. If you all been following me for quite some time and throughout my journey of, me creating videos, you all know I was living with family or living with my mom for the last 10 years, I'm going to say. It's been about 10 years. And even when, like I say, it's nothing like having your own peace. Most people like, well, that's family. But even, we all need, everybody, I just feel like as an adult, everybody need their own space. Family might take you in or let you stay living the time. I didn't know that it would be that long for me to stay, but that just goes to show you, even though I was working hard, and my finances weren't really put together, but you would never know that I was, not happy because I tried to make the best out of my living situation, Like I said, I always been the type that I work hard and, go make money and do the best I can to take care of myself. But when he finally opened this door, because I always said I wanted my own place, my own place with me having it on my name, I have stayed with people time to time. Like I said, I have stayed, me and my ex relived together for about 2 years, but like I say, the place wasn't actually in my name, but me having, but this door being open for me, and God opened this door for me to actually have a place that I can call home, and this is in my name, and I had the keys given to me. That was a blessing for me, because I kind of felt that the door was gonna already be open, because I know nowadays when you moving, most times they run a background check with you. Like, my background is clean. I never been, incarcerated, nothing like that, so I kind of felt that this door was gonna open for me. But when I got that call the next day that, hey, your background check came back, hey, when you come out and sign the lease so you can get your keys, that was a blessing, because even though I didn't see it coming right away, but I believed it. So sometimes you have to believe things before it actually happened for you. So me believing that this door opened up for me and me getting this place, that was right on time. Because I feel like when you're a true believer and you know that God got your back regardless, and he gonna make a way, can't no man, no woman, whatever, stop the blessings that he have called upon your name. But one thing I did learn, and I also say this, I'm glad that when I was doing this, sometimes it's best to keep certain things to yourself. I have learned this in the past, that you can't overshare like the blessings that God has, that's been upon you. So me getting this place, I didn't let nobody know. I didn't tell none of my friends and none right away. I waited till after this door opened for me. Then I shared the news, because, like I say, sometimes you can share your news too soon, and then you never know how people might feel about you, and they can envy the situation and feel like, hey, she don't deserve it, or he don't deserve it, so they'll say things, and so that's one thing I'm learning too, is that you do have to be careful on blessings or whatever God is doing in your life. Sometimes it's just best to keep it to yourself and just let God allow his work to be done. And then when that door open, or if you want to share how you got it, that's different, but just speaking up on something right away before it happened, is not a good idea. And I have learned that, and I'm thankful that he's teaching me how to set boundaries for myself, and know when to speak and know when to say, hey, no, this is not the perfect time. So yeah, God is good, like I say. And ever since I've been in this place, I just been gaining so much peace. Like, I mean, I be at more peace now than I ever did back then, because most times it's just me. I'm mostly here, a lot alone, because, like I say, my daughter, she's 18, and how teenagers is. They don't want to be, when they feel like they turn 18, they just feel like they grown. So they feel like, hey, I don't have to be cooped up on the mom all the time. But other than that, even when she here, it's still peace. But even when I'm by myself, it's even more peaceful, because I can hear the birds sing, and I love birds. Like, I can hear when they out here singing or whatever. And so even with me, getting that peace, I feel like the nature is still being surrounded by me, in the smallest things, So I just say it's just the littlest things that give me peace, Like I say, even meditation, yoga. I do need to get back into doing yoga. I feel like listening to like the meditation app. YouTube do have that on downloaded. YouTube do have the meditation app where you can they have like this. It's a channel that I follow on here, and you can see the nature, and it just be playing the music. And when I say it just give me so much peace, it's very peaceful. And I do also say listening to a podcast. I do enjoy listening to those. There's so many channels out there that have a lot of great podcasts that will give you some great information on life in general. And listening to some of those channels have gained me a lot of courage. One Pacific creator that I followed, and I'm so proud of her, Maya Galoy. Y'all might have heard of her. She's a big YouTuber, influencer, and she also have a podcast she just started called Into the Next. I do need to catch up on one of her videos. I do need to catch up on one of the videos that I was currently watching, but I had to pause it, so I got to go back and rewatch. But I'm so proud of her growth, and how far God have blessed her in her life. She's a great creator, and I would encourage anybody that just needs some inspiration to check her podcast out. She do have her YouTube channel as well. She's very big on self-love, improvement, encouraging women to be their best selves, and that's something that I've been needing for a long time. So, me following her and tuning into her journey, it really have played a huge impact in my life. So it's like you be surprised who God will send your way, even when you least expect it. Like I say, he can, even if you on social media, he will send channels to your way, that creators that you might never heard of. And if you start following their journey, you just be surprised how, he's showing you that, hey, this person might have been in your shoes, and hey, they can help you, become your best self. And so yeah, like I say, I'm very big now. And then, like I say, I was telling y'all, I do like to read books. You know, books is therapeutic. I do need to get some more books, but I say for the time then I'll probably just go back and reread some of my older books. I do need to get back and prioritize more reading. Like I say, I do read my Bible, and you know, I journal time from time, but just finding a good book to read, sometimes that's just as good as well. And so, yeah, I'm not, and also, like I said, I do learn to say no when something don't no longer serve me. Like if something I feel like gonna interrupt my peace and happiness, it's best to set standards and boundaries. And I'm like, hey, if this not working out for me, no, I can't do it. That's another thing I feel like you can gain peace is when, you know, you're a person that always there for people, and sometimes you might can't be there for a person right away. You know, I'm learning that, hey, it's okay to say no, you know, not that you being mean, but I just can't do this right now, or I just don't have it. You know, that's also been giving me peace as well, because I used to lack in that area. Every time someone needed me for something, I'm always there, to the point that it was kind of draining me and draining the energy out of me, and then I never had much for myself because I'm always showing up for other people. So I'm also learning that it's okay to say no in order to, you know, continue to have peace within yourself. And so, to the next time, you all, I'm not going to continue to rant too much. I truly appreciate you all. I appreciate the love and support that you all have shown to me. Until the next time, you all have a great day. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Bye-bye.